I submitted my application probably about 1 hour before the applications closed.
Wow.
And that was the first time, and then we did the interviews, and I was selected as a reserve candidate.
Yes.
I was crushed.
Yes.
Was crushed when that happened.
Yes.
Was really crushed when that happened. And because I didn't get through. And I said, boy, I'm not going to apply again. It took a lot out of me. Because it took a lot of vulnerability in the application process. You really have to search yourself and search yourself.
Yes.
And I did a lot of that. I'm like, I'm not applying again. And the person said, Matthew, apply again.
Nationwide 90 FM Miss Kitty Live, indeed, broadcasting live from 6 Bradley Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica. Wherever you are in the world, good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for choosing your Queen Diva Miss Kitty and DJ Calico. I just made a discovery, but I'm not going to get to the Discovery Channel because Calico, Calico shook my body, like shook me like a while. But guess what, guys? That's for another time, for another show, because right now I'm all shevening out. Okay, shevening, good evening, hello, everybody. That's right. So we just spoke to Antoinette Dennis from the British High Commission about the Chevening Scholarship, and I must tell you that I am just so elated for the 16 Jamaicans who were chosen as the 2022 recipients of the Chevening Scholarship. Among them are Christina Neal, Janelle Morgan, Colleen Dawkins, Amanda Mackenzie, Nastasia Robinson, Chanel Stewart, Renee McKay Bennett, Venice Irving, and Gabrielle Thompson Jackson for the females. For the males, we have Janoy Reed, Matthew Ferguson, Zachary Ramsey, Richard Robinson, Malik Kellia, Mikhail Henry, and Damoy Douglas. This afternoon in my studio, I have 2 of the recipients with a moa. But I tell them I feel bright, man. Like when I feel a brightness, a box off. I gotta tell you, oh my God. I have Colleen Dawkins and Matthew Ferguson, recipients of the Chevening Scholarship for 2022. A round of applause for my very special guest today. I gotta tell you, yay, yay, yay. Hooray for Colleen. Hooray for Matthew. Good afternoon, lady and gentlemen. Welcome to Miss Kitty Live. How are you doing today?
Hi, good afternoon, Miss Kitty. Good afternoon, listeners. Thank you so much for having
You're
us.
most welcome. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you. Matthew says he's just an observer, but he's not. He's actually a recipient. Colleen, where were you when you got the call that you received the Chevening Scholarship for 2022?
Okay, so it's actually an email, and you know the UK is like 6 hours ahead of us.
Yes.
So I would be starting.
6 or 9? 9?
6. The flight. The flight.
Okay. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but 6 hours ahead.
Very well.
So I was talking the phone the whole weekend because I know that it's probably gonna come out around this time in June. It's coming out. 4 o'clock in the morning, I mean that I check phone. 5 o'clock in the morning, me that I check phone. And then June 30th, I believe, I was like, I'm not checking the phone this morning. When it come.
Yes.
And then I was like, no, man, I have to check. Yeah. So on the way to the bathroom, I grabbed the phone and I scroll, spam, little she, and everybody.
Yes.
And then there it was, the from Do Not Reply, Chevening.
Yes.
The panel was so pleased with your interview. Congratulations. You got a but that's even read the rest of me. They're screaming. They're screaming.
Yes.
And then tears started to fill my eyes. I'm just like, whoa. You're preparing for something and you just get so lost in the motion of doing what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
That when it actually hits you, you're shocked. You're
yes.
just, so this was supposed to happen. This is what I wanted to happen. But here it is. It has happened.
Yeah.
So I was just in awe, and I was really grateful for my support team. And I look at myself and I'm like, say you're a bright girl.
That's right. That is right. Stadium bulb, you. Yes.
Bright girl. So I was actually at home, and it was 6 a.m. in the morning that I read that email, which, has put me on a whole new course.
Yes.
For my life.
Absolutely wonderful. Sir Matthew, where were you when you got the email?
I was at home.
Yeah.
I think I was ironing some clothes, and I decided, other countries were getting alerts.
Yes.
And my anxiety went up.
Yes.
I said, boy, hold on. Check the email. Refreshing. Still can't see anything. And I remember I just swiped down on the phone one more time and I saw something pop up. And then, of course, the same messaging that Colleen got. And I put the phone down. Then I looked at the phone again.
Yes. Okay, what if you're dreaming out? Yeah.
And then I took a screenshot because,
if they take it back. Just in case, if you take it back, I'm a proof. I'm my proof.
You know.
But I'm paying a janitor. No, when they're there, university, something. I said, baby, screenshot everything. Just in case of the last it. Hello, I have proof.
Took a screenshot, then I made sure I went back to the website to make sure the website was saying the same thing. That
Yes.
You know, just for confirmation. You know,
Yes.
I went into straight overthinking mode.
Yes.
And then of course I know that, you know, there's a nice little village around me. Some of the persons who are actually on the program now, you know, we're anticipating the positive results. As a matter of fact, two other persons that were in the UK when they were helping me to guide me through my interview process, they took a screenshot of the interview and said, Matthew, we're gonna look back on this when you got it.
Yes.
I'm going to compare screenshots. I know they were waiting, so when I sent it to them,
wow.
and then Katie, I checked it the next day.
Yes.
Read the email again. I said, okay, so it's real.
Yes.
And then even when I sat here a while ago, I told you, I looked at the shirt. Okay, I'm here.
Yes, you're here. You're on Miss Kitty Live, right here in your Chevening merch,
Yes,
and you
Chevening
are
merch.
a Chevening scholar. I gotta tell you, a scholarship recipient. So let me start with Colleen. So Colleen, give me a little background as to who are you and where you've come from, and what which high school you attended, and in what area is your first degree?
Okay, so Colleen Dawkins is a communication practitioner. I have experience with working in the government and the private sector. I consider myself an environment advocate.
Yes.
So I like that. I use my communication skills to, make people know so the environment needs us. We can't survive without it. We have to take care of it. And the schools which would have helped me to become that person are Nagahead Primary,
Hey.
Portmore, and of course the home of phenomenal women, Immaculate Conception High School.
Simone would love you right now.
Yes, Immaculate Conception High School, and of course, the great UE.
That's right.
Mona Campus.
That's right.
Harry Mack.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. The Caribbean School, not Institute, School of Media and Communication, and I did integrated marketing communication.
Okay, very well.
At Carmack. So after leaving there, I went on to work with the Jamaica Information Service.
Yes.
Where I worked on government campaigns and publications, promoting sustainable development to help benefit citizens.
Yes.
One of the projects which I'm most proud of is the plastic ban.
Yes.
I hope nobody don't have them scandal bag of fan out and I say you lucky,
Yeah, no, we don't have those.
No, we don't have
People
those.
are looking at you. If you have a scandal bag right now, somebody gonna point like, excuse me, who are you?
Yeah, what's that?
Like, what's that? We don't do that. Yes.
I'm really proud of that project that I worked on because it was impactful and we can see the change happening here, and it actually set Jamaica as a regional and global leader, because we're one of the first Caribbean countries to make a move in that direction.
Right.
So I worked on that project. I'm one of the youngest persons going up to Jamaica House for the meetings. I was so nervous.
Yes.
But I respected the fact that the government was willing to hear what the youth had to say.
Yes.
And, they took suggestions and comments. And my manager at the time at JIS, she definitely supported that, which that actually led me to go on to receiving the Prime Minister's Youth Award.
Wonderful.
In the category of environmental protection. And that was just because I was living up my passion.
Yes.
Using communication to make the world a better place. To
I love that.
Inspire people, to bring about awareness.
Yes.
And
be the change that we want to see.
You got it, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly it, Miss Kitty.
Yeah.
So, and now I'll be off to the University of Leeds.
Yes, to study what?
Yes, to pursue a Master of Arts in Corporate Communications, Marketing and Public Relations.
Oh, that's so hot! Oh my God! So, how did you hear about the Chevening Scholarship, and why did you decide to apply?
Okay, so the very, very first time I heard about this scholarship, I was actually working at a radio station.
Yes.
And I was leaving because it was a part-time job and I was graduating from university. And one of the announcers said to me, Colleen, you have talent. And I see you going on to get one of those fancy scholarships and making Jamaica proud. I was like, fancy scholarships? And he's like, yes, man, you have scholarships that you can do Chevening. And that, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a Chevening.
He's like, I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Chevening?
Yeah.
I was like, what's that? And then I started doing research.
Yes.
And I was like, I'd want to do that scholarship. But I went on to working, and he kind of put that dream on the back burner, but, he's trying to work now. And then one of my really close friends, Rashika Grant, she's a scholar as well.
Oh, nice. Hey, Rashika.
Yes.
You see your good friend, you see it? You see, your circle important.
Yes.
And them something me talk about.
Yes.
Your circle have to be a circle that uplifts you, not one that holds you down. Ensure your circle is a circle and not a cage. You see, bring her to the Chevening, Jesus.
Yes.
God bless your friend.
Yes.
May our bread basket never empty. Kwanta.
Yes. So we were talking about, where we see ourselves in the next 5 years, because we like that vision, because talking about vision board and vision party, she's like, yeah, you need to actually put them to work.
Yes.
And then that same scholarship came up again. She mentioned that she wants to do this. I was like, wait, I know that, I heard about that. And she's like, yeah. And then she started telling me more about it.
Yes.
And then she ignited, the desire,
your curiosity,
exactly, to want to learn more about the scholarship. And watching her go through her journey, that further inspired me. So, she's just like, yeah. When she got it, she's like, so you next.
Yeah.
Passing the baton.
Pop.
Yeah. Passing
Yes.
the baton. And that's how I actually learned about the scholarship. And then I started to see the great work. And then I could find out, so we have influential Jamaicans who making a change and impact, like Mr. Hughes.
Yes. Hello.
Past scholar.
Yes.
That even, I'm like, okay, so if they can do it and they can come back and use the newfound skills and talent to help build up Jamaica, I can do that too.
That's right. Go Colleen Dawkins, recipient. Mr. Matthew Ferguson is also a recipient. So Matthew, tell me a little bit about yourself, your community from where you hail, the schools you attended, and in what area is your first degree?
Well, Matthew is an impact relations practitioner.
Yeah.
And,
Impact relations practitioner.
So-
What is that?
All right. So impact relations is the deliberate use of messaging, media, storytelling the deliberate use of those components for positive social change.
Oh,
so a lot
wow.
of persons say marketing, they say public relations, they see these things and they only think about the part that can be self-serving to an organization. And a lot of what Colleen just mentioned a while ago is impact relations. The use of these tools, the use of these skills,
Yes.
these outlets to drive positive change.
Yeah.
And so that is that's what I identify as, and I actually happened into that space because my first degree is in marketing,
Yes.
but I was being pushed into sales a lot and I didn't like sales.
Yes.
And I realized that a lot of my own interest lied in corporate social responsibility, and I had to really find a way to navigate the space to see how I could use what my passions were and the skill set that I have, and to kind of carve out that niche for myself.
Yes.
So I discovered even that component of myself when I was I think I was in the credit union movement at the time as a public relations officer, and then I did several years in the Ministry of Education,
Yes.
Ministry of Education, Youth and Information as a public relations officer. And that's how I realized that, really and truly, as a PR practitioner, there's a side to PR that a lot of persons don't consider.
Yeah.
Everybody think of PR as a spin.
Yes.
How can we put a spin on something?
Yes, and the publicity.
While
Yes.
impact relations has a lot to do with really and truly telling the truth.
Yeah.
Using positive messaging, storytelling, to drive developmental change, and that aligns a lot with what Colleen mentioned. I
Yes.
I sat here and I was listening to her, and I was
Yes.
like, boy, really and truly, this is the communicator's interview.
Yes. Right. Nice.
My background, I went to Shortwood Primary. I went to the Mona High School. I went to Excelsior Community College, and I have to big up all of those three schools because representation
Yes.
actually matters.
Yes.
I remember last year when I was going through the list of Chevening Awardees, and I realized that 2 were from my primary school.
Yes.
1 was from my high school. 1 was from my community college. And then, of course, quite a few of them come from UWI. Represent Pelicans, but
Yes.
representation matters because
Yes.
as we were discussing even before the interview started, there are a lot of persons that will be listening to this and wondering, okay, this is maybe for that type of person.
Yes, or for
that
them,
type,
and not for me.
And for me, I was really just doing a lot of the work that I have a passion for without even thinking about applying for a scholarship. Even the work that I do right now with the digital group, because I manage communications there, and a lot of what I have been able to pull from my experience going through my other professional endeavors, I've been able to deploy that creativity in what I do now. And
Yes.
hearing about the scholarship, really, I'm away from an event because I craft a lot of social initiatives.
Yes.
One of them was called the Go Higher initiative. And for me, I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I started university. I'm saying, Matthew, you love talk. Do marketing or the law.
Yeah.
Not like you, Kitty. But
Matthew, why are you see all them stuff here now? What is this? What it is?
So
The Chevening Scholarship recipient here.
my passion, I'm a creative.
Yes.
So my passion really aligned with marketing communications. And so I initiated a campaign called the Go Higher campaign, and it was really to guide young people in respect to the career choices that they wanted to pursue, because I really didn't know what my path was, and so I needed to be able to reach back and to provide that guidance for young people.
Right.
And I was holding a conference, because it's a large conference. We have students from like 22 high schools and about 11 colleges island-wide. And I was on the way back from the conference, tired, beat out. This is like 11 o'clock in the night. And somebody said to me, why not apply for the scholarship? And I'm like, scholarship, that's not really me. No, man, do it. The work that you've been doing, the type of person you are, you're a leader, because those are the elements, of a true chief. You have to be a leader.
Yes.
You have to be somebody that builds relationships well. You have to really have a clear plan for the changes that you want to see, and how you plan to impact them positively.
Yes.
And these were things that I was doing that without even knowing.
It's right.
So it took persons around me to actually see those qualities in me, and actually encourage me to apply. So I submitted my application probably about 1 hour before the applications closed.
Wow.
And that was the first time, and then we did the interviews, and I was selected as a reserve candidate.
Yes.
Yeah, I was crushed. Was crushed when that happened.
Yes.
Was really crushed when that happened. And because I didn't get through. And I said, boy, I'm not going to apply again. This took a lot out of me. Because it took a lot of vulnerability in the application process. You really have to search yourself and search your soul.
Yes.
And I did a lot of that. I'm like, I'm not applying again. And the person said, Matthew, apply again. And I really thank God for the village around me, because persons were pushing me to apply. Persons like, Matthew, do it. And Matthew is here now. And I don't want to name drop, but the persons know themselves. One of the persons is in Wales, one of the persons is in London, another person. Well, 2 of them are in London right now.
Yes.
And one in Manchester.
Wow.
And I'm couple in Kingston. I just that village to push me and to motivate me.
Yes.
And so that is really, I guess, the origin story.
Right, the origin of Matthew, right? The Genesis. So Matthew, how many times in all did you apply for the scholarship before getting through?
I applied in 1920, got reserve status.
In 1920?
2019, 2020.
Oh, okay. You mean you said me go pray for Matthew now? Come here, said no, Matthew. Oh, wow.
Okay, that was before, yes. 2019, for the 2019, 2020 period. And then I was encouraged to apply again. I decided, all right, let me just send in some.
Yes.
Never worked out that time, and then person said, no, Matthew, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of introspection that you need to, a lot of growth experience, a lot of introspection that you need to give it a real honest shot this time.
Yeah.
And I decided to give it a real honest shot. So I know a lot of achievements got through on the first attempt. I'm one of the ones that got through on the third.
Third attempt. A round of applause for Matthew. 3 times. Third time's the charm. And you did it on your third attempt. And I'm happy that you shared that with us, Matthew. And talking about being vulnerable, that's a part of vulnerability. And I'm happy that you shared that, because it just goes to show, Colleen, that our dreams may not happen on the first go, but if you don't get through, it doesn't mean you should give up. You can try again, and try until you succeed. Because if Matthew had just thrown in the towel and said, some can't bother, them turn me down 1 time, 2 time, I them a ramp with, I them a this, I want some boy, I want some girl, I want to oh no, I'm not gonna apply again, he wouldn't be sitting here today as a Chevening recipient. And so I'm very, very happy that you've shared that story about resilience, about grit, about tenacity, and about believing in self. And also very important to have a village and a support system and people who are your cheerleaders, who can see the best in you even when you may not see it in yourself. We're talking to Colleen Dawkins and Matthew Ferguson, who are both a part of the Chevening Scholarship recipients. They are the Chevening Scholarship cohort this afternoon, and they're my special guest. They're sharing their story with us, and we want to know what they're going to study overseas and how are they coming back to Jamaica to help build Jamaica, land we love. You're listening to Miss Kitty Live on Nationwide 90 FM.
Miss Kitty. Afternoon show.
I have the heart of a champion. I got to tell you, Elaine on your radio right here on Miss Kitty Live on an Island Tuesday. I have two brilliant scholars in front of me right now. And I got to tell you, they're motivating me on a different level. Me they I try work like a G, you know. Because I say, so Colleen, I'm not coming there, the word glad for come really substir me, Lord. But if I think about a sheepding, don't in the Father God. But is this a sign from you, God? I don't know. But I got to tell you, Colleen Dawkins is here with me and Matthew Ferguson, both Chevening Scholarship recipients for the year 2022. Two of the 16 Jamaicans who have been awarded with a Chevening Scholarship. Among them, Christina Neal, Janelle Morgan, Amanda McKenzie, Nastasia Robinson, Chanel Stewart, Renee McKay Bennett, Venice Irving, and Gabrielle Thompson Jackson. For the males, Janoy Reed, Mr. Matthew Ferguson, my special guest in studio, Zachary Ramsey, Richard Robinson, Malik Kellier, Mikhail Henry, and Damoy Douglas. So we got the backstory, we got the genesis, we got the origin. So tell me now, Matthew, which university will you be attending in the UK, and what is your area of study?
Okay, so I'll be attending the University of Westminster.
Okay, very well.
And my program, I'm doing an MA in Media Campaigning and Social Change, and that's a very unique master's.
Okay, why? Why that?
Because the unique combination of media, impact messaging, and social change,
Yes.
impact relations.
Yes.
A lot of programs, not only the UK but around the world, offer MAs or MSCs in communications, PR, things of that nature. But this is a unique blend because you're actually using those skill sets for that purpose.
Yes.
You know, and that skill set is a very rare one that exists, and of course, that is why I actually selected that program.
Very
and
well.
I applied to. Once I got through to my first three schools, I decided to shoot my shot at about $10. I'm not in for the $10.
So, a round of applause. So you applied to 10 universities in the UK and got through to all 10 of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, wow.
All of them. So,
Hey!
So University of Westminster.
So why did you choose Westminster? Because of the program combination?
Yes.
Okay, very
And
well.
not only the program combination, but they actually have a really good blend of theory and practice, and the program directors are persons who are actually in the field.
Very well.
And are recognized in the field, not only in the UK but also internationally. And they have bodies of work that I know about.
Yes, yes.
So,
so they're credible people.
Definitely, and I'm actually looking forward to pull as many gems as I can from them.
Very well. And for you, Colleen, you said you're going to University of Leeds.
Yes.
Very well. And you chose that university. Why?
Okay, so I chose University of Leeds because of the program. Their communications program is amazing, which is in their business school. And I did a whole heap of research, Miss Kitty, like for the UK and globally, and it was up there.
Okay.
It was up there, so it's not no pion.
Yes.
We're talking like they invest in the program and they link their students to large corporations where you can get hands-on training and practice.
Yes.
I mean, I can go there, learn that, and take that back home.
Yes.
To help in whatever sector, I work in upon my return.
Yes.
Also, Leeds has a lot of greenery. I mean, most of UK, but I like theirs. They have one of the largest parks in Europe.
Yes.
Roundhay Park.
Yes.
And having done the research, I just felt like it was the right
That was your match and your fit. One of the things that Antoinette Dennis spoke about earlier was the fact that Chevening scholars will return to Jamaica to give back to their country to help to build. Now, in this time where many persons are migrating and, seeking greener pastures, why uno want to go study and come back? What's that about, Matthew? What's the motivation there?
So, one of the major things in applying is that we had to really do an assessment of the space of what's happening in Jamaica to see how we actually can help to develop or to tackle some of the issues. And so, in applying, we actually applied with that mindset of how we're gonna pull that information, pull this experience, pull all the connections, all the resources that we will develop to impact our country. So in applying, our minds were already set on what we're gonna do when we come back.
Okay.
And that is the perspective that every chief now has.
Yes.
All 16 of us, everybody who is in the network even right now, that's a perspective that we go into this with, because we actually had to really evaluate the changes that we want, the impact that we wanted to make.
Yes.
And of course, even in the application process and the essays, to just outline in a systematic way how we plan to impact.
So how do you
Jamaica.
plan to impact
I love
Jamaica?
that. So a lot of what happens in my field, as I mentioned before, happens through a particular lens.
Yes.
And there is a wide gap for persons who need to be able to, or who need that skill set in impact relations. For instance, you'll find that the vast majority of communications practitioners come from a journalism background. I don't have that background.
Yeah.
And what you find is that the skill set that is required tends to, it leaves a really broad opening. And so my passion is technology and education. As I mentioned to you before, I've worked on policies and campaigns having to do with driving awareness on the job market and skills development and things of that nature. And of course, I plan to use the skill set that I acquire, especially in campaigning and impact messaging, to help to drive that initiative locally. In addition to that, you realize that there are a lot of professional bodies that exist locally. We have professional bodies for accountants, we have professional bodies for quite a number of other fields. And there's not one really that exists right now, to my knowledge. We used to have something called the Public Relations Society of Jamaica, and it's to my knowledge, I'm not sure if anybody would like to, fact check me on that, but for the last few years it hasn't been active.
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing is to use my skill set, the network that I'm going to develop, to help to lift the standard of public relations, media and communications in Jamaica by linking with other media practitioners who are like-minded, to help to formulate that kind of network, to help to lift the standards, to help establish knowledge sharing and skills development opportunities.
Yes.
There are a lot of professional bodies that exist overseas that, are ripe for the picking in terms of using their own networks to help to develop the skill set in Jamaica.
Yes.
And so those are just a few other things.
Yes.
Fully but things.
It's a whole about things, a crocus bag of things. Colleen, for you, as I said, many people are migrating, seeking greener pastures. People are probably wondering, well, Colleen, why you get this scholarship? You're going overseas to study at big university in the UK. Why would you want to come back to Jamaica?
I love that you use the metaphor greener pastures. Miss Kitty.
I did that with the whole greenery.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Leads.
Leads. Greenery.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, the descriptive writing.
I love it. But really, that just goes to say, Miss Kitty, the grass will be green if you water it.
That's right.
So if I take up myself and my my bucket and I decide that, okay, I'm just going to relocate, I'm not going to water Jamaica, then Jamaica, not going to be as lush as it can be.
Right.
So just playing on, what you just said. So that's why I choose to come back. I love my country. Jamaica has made me into the individual I am. The education system has made me. I went to primary school, high school, university. So I feel like it's on me to put back into that system. So the little girl or the little boy that's listening or looking on can benefit just like how I benefit.
Yeah.
And then pass that baton when their time comes. So I feel like it's a relay effect. We cannot live in silos or work in silos or just think single-minded, because if nobody decides to stay, then what will happen?
Yeah.
If nobody wants to fight. I mean, sometimes, it look daunting, the fight look like,
Yes.
some Mike Tyson kind of fighting.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you have to stand for something. You have to believe in something, and you will see the effects. I feel like if half the persons or leaders that we have decided that they would have been up and leave, would have been worse off.
Yes.
Jamaica nice, man. The body's there.
Yes.
But show me a perfect country, please.
And your area of study will help Jamaica how?
Okay, so I'm going to use communication to effect change. You see, like how we're having this conversation right now, and you probably feel inspired by what I'm saying.
Yes.
And somebody listening might feel inspired by what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's how the power of communication.
Yes.
We have so much going for us, but a lot of persons, they may not be aware, because it's not talked about often enough, or it's not shared in the medium or space that they would hear it. For example,
popular media.
Yes. Here
that's why we're different over here. We do really different.
Exactly.
Yes. We do impact. We're about purpose, not just popularity. You see that? Matthew can use that when I campaign. Sorry. What's up, girl?
Yeah, so can you imagine if all the plans and all the benefits just stayed up at Gordon House? It don't come out, it was never communicated.
Yes.
Then people won't know, and then they will only be looking at the tough things, the hard things, and not feel inspired or feel like there's support there. Similar with the private sector. You have some scholarships being given away by private sector organizations. People don't know about
Yes.
them. And when all the person say, "Oh, we nobody know about Chevening. Oh my God, Chevening, no Chevening. Good evening." You know?
Yes. Yeah, Matthew just broke that down. Chevening, good evening. Hello, somebody. Yes.
Oh, they didn't know that such a program exists, and
Yes.
that just goes to show communication.
Very important.
Very important.
I got to tell you the difference between night and day. Colleen Dawkins and Matthew Ferguson, my very special guests right here on Miss Kitty Live. They are Chevening, good evening. Scholarship recipients right here on Miss Kitty Live. Hashtag brightness I do it. Hashtag ambition I do it. Hashtag big dreams I do it. Yes, we are live this afternoon, and I want to say good afternoon to everybody watching on my Instagram Live, everybody watching on my Facebook Live, and everyone watching on the nationwide YouTube channel. To all of you listening in Radio Land, thank you so very much. I do hope that you're feeling inspired. And as Antoinette said, you just have to be 18 years or older. Even if you're 60, you can apply for this scholarship. I know that for many people, you know, life happens, and maybe it was always your dream to apply for the Chevening Scholarship, but you know, you kind of put aside, you know, you had children or you were working, never really got around to it. But as my granny would have said, when a dead, no call it dopey, and when a dead, no dash away. Once you have life and once there is breath in your lungs, there is hope, and you too can do it. 16 Jamaicans this year have done it, and who knows, next year your name could be among the selected Chevening Scholarship recipients. So let me just ask you, Matthew, there are a lot of people who would have finished their first degree, but they have no idea, and Colleen as well, you know, okay, how do I go about choosing a master's? Because really and truly, there are so many choices and programs out there. How do I know what's a fit for me, and how do I choose a master's that is going to impact my paycheck positively?
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a piece of research I was done a few years ago that indicated that inadequate or insufficient labor market readiness was one of the major causes for, I think it was a 53.33% graduate youth employment rate. I think it was a study put out about 4 years ago or so. Mm-hmm. And what you find is that a lot of our young people are not as informed as they could be.
Yes.
About you know, the career path that they really should pursue, being able to align pay with passion.
Yes.
Right, and of course, being able to see what the gaps are, the spaces are in the labor market, and that is one of the things that I'm passionate about, ensuring that we engage them so that they can, because knowledge is power.
Yes.
You know, we want them to make informed decisions. So for me now, I really picked up my passion. As a matter of fact, I'm picking up my passion.
Yes.
Because there are a number of things, and I always tell a lot of the young people that I mentor, you're never here for just one thing.
That's right.
You know, and it's really for you now to really reach out to that village. Like I had a village around me. A lot of our young people don't have that village really. And you know, persons they say, hey, I see that you like doing this. I see that you have an affinity or you have a passion or a skill set for this, and I think you should pursue this. And so for me, in terms of being able to introspect and evaluate myself, searching my soul, years ago I said, okay, what am I really passionate about? And CSR is one of the major things, not just doing something to get a paycheck and to watch a company thrive, but something that can impact me positively, make me feel good. That actually, you know, puts me in that mode where I know that whatever I'm doing is not just to collect a paycheck, but I can see an impact.
Yes.
Whether it is one, a lot of the things that people in my field, you may not be able to quantify, right? Down to like exact metrics, but you can see what the overall net effect is.
Yes.
Now for me, in searching for my program, my interest is media communications, marketing. And when the good thing is that Chevening really assists you because there's an entire bank of programs.
Yes.
And you can go through the program, you can search anything.
Yeah.
There's almost a master's for anything.
Right.
And then you can start to narrow down and you start to look at, the program offering, the modules. So for all of us, all 16 of us, we went down to our modules to see how they were going to be delivered, what the learning outcomes were going to be, what we could take from the program, because we want to ensure that whatever the program is going to teach us, it's actually relevant to what the change or the impact that we want to make.
Yes.
And then, of course, I went to see how many field trips I was going to go on.
Yes.
Right? As a matter of fact, I'm scheduled for one in 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I'm already talking with my program director. She's in Greece right now, and that's one of the things I really like, because they engage, they're happy. Oh, you're Jamaican, welcome. Oh, you're a Chevening, yes. hit me up on a video call. There were several hours ahead, but their enthusiasm to have me in the program is one of the things that I really look forward to.
Yes.
And any questions that I needed to know about, how my program is going to be delivered, because as a creative, there are certain things I want to be able to know I can get out of the program. I want to know that I can have hands-on experience and hands-on exposure to certain things.
Yes.
And so that was one of the things that was really important to me, especially in selecting this program.
So for you now, Colleen, same question. People are wondering, how do I choose a master's, Colleen? There are so many options out there. And as Matthew said, how do I link pay with passion? And how do I even know what to study? Because I don't want to study a master's like defunct and that outdated and that now we're again. You understand? I don't want to study that. Nobody not hire nobody with that. I don't like that. How do we narrow it down to know what we should do?
Okay, so the first thing would be to live a purposeful life. You need to know what it is that sets you on fire, what you get excited about, and then find a way that can help you to make money. How do you feel good about yourself? But while you're doing that, you'll be leaving room to inspire others and leave the space a little better than you found it. Yeah. So you have to have that sit down with yourself. Yeah. If you have a nice circle or group of friends, you can do that together. Yeah. But find out what it is that Colleen is passionate about. I'm passionate about communication and how the effect it has. You ever just going through a bad day and somebody just stop and say, oh, you look nice, or it's just a random word of kindness or inspiration and your whole mood lifts.
Yes.
Or you ever lost and clueless and you just you don't know which way to go and somebody just say, no man, I'm further down the road, or it's... Yes. You feel inspired. Yes. Communication is so powerful.
Yes.
So you have to live a purposeful life to know what it is. So for me, that's communication. What is it for you, listener? What is it for you? Find that. When you find that now, you're going to then go and do your research as to which school or institution is offering the best training or program so you can capitalize on that.
Yes.
Once you do that, you make sure you send a defunct, like you say, they're up to date, they're accredited or whatever. Once you do that, then you narrow it down. Look at other interests. Okay, so I like to cycle. Find a place or a school that promotes that. Yeah. I like greenery, so St. Lee's it have greenery and big parks. That's for me. So you can marry your interests with that. And then after that, now the money will, kind of so we do it for the love, the likes. Me put in kinds.
I know that's right. When I do it for the love, but I do it for the kinds. I want a remix for that. I do that day. I gotta tell you, that's right. Yes.
But I put that in. It's not necessary. The coins will come.
Yes.
The coins will come because people can't help but look up and admire the moon.
Yes.
So once you hone your skill and you get good, them Africa look at them Africa give you your dues.
I know that's right.
You have to. So I really look at the coins that much. It's important because life have to live.
Yes, and bills have to pay.
And bills life have to live and bills have to pay. But what it is, if you're so passionate about it, trust me, you'll get the support that you want, and you'll be able to connect. And you don't have to limit yourself. Yeah, you have a 9-to-5, but do something for you too. Yeah. So that's how you can marry them. So first, you live a purposeful life. Find out what it is that sets you on fire, and find out how you can capitalize on that and make some money off it. Yeah. For me, it's communication. What is it for you? Could be DJing, could be art, could be finance. What is it for you?
Yeah. Colleen, let's add mentorship to that.
See,
mentorship. A lot of times we have our passions that we may not know, and having that guidance.
Yes.
That guidance to help to, because persons who are older than you
have
been on the journey already and can help you to avoid some of the potholes.
And give you some life hacks.
Life hacks.
Break down or collapse 10 years and 20 years into months or into a meeting, right? But as you said that, Matthew, which is a very salient point, mentorship is important, but where do we find them? A lot of people out there are saying, but Miss Kitty, me hear Matthew just said about mentorship, and me hear Colleen about mentorship, but where must go find a mentor? I don't know. Nobody know mentor, nobody not share no information. A lot of people just hugging the information, keeping it to themselves, and they're really not sharing it.
That's an interesting and really factual outlook, because even in my experience, I found that I was mentoring persons without knowing I was mentoring.
Yeah.
I had persons telling me, and that's a word I used to shy away from, because I thought, okay, this person is watching my every move. Every piece of advice I have, what if I steer them wrong? The reality, though, is, and parents have to ensure they put the young people in spaces where they can be exposed to things that can drive them positively. Me as a church boy, my bishop is one of my major mentors, and I don't know if he knows that, but I watch I watch what he does, the advice that he gives. And of course, the thing is, for my career as well, I look to see who is in the space, who is doing what I am interested in doing. And, you know, also, and this is something I really need to point out to persons who are doing. Reach back.
Yeah.
Reach back.
I like that.
Reach back. Reach back, give back, reach back. Because, and which is why I was really pleasantly surprised by even the Chevening Network, because when I needed advice, I started to hit persons on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I was like, boy, I don't really know if I want to reach a person, and I might just run me, and then probably have them studies are gone. And I reached out to a few persons on LinkedIn, and they're like, oh, you're applying? Great, let's go. And that was even, I mean, so that whole element. So what I'm recommending for persons who can't find or not sure where to find a mentor, you know, one of the things that we have really going well in this country, youth innovation centers around the island. The Ministry of Education has some really good youth centers around the island. You can reach out to them. Persons can reach out. Persons already started reaching out to me on IG.
How do we find you on IG, Matthew?
Okay, so as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Okay, Matthew.
My artist Matthew Truguna, because persons started asking me, hey, somebody reached out to me, Matthew, I applied for the exact program that you did. I applied. I applied for Chevening. I went through the interview process. I applied for the exact program, but they didn't get through. And I was like, look here, you need to reapply, because if you got to that stage,
yes,
it means that something unique was in you, and we need. And one of the things I'm ensuring that I do, as soon as I get certain things sorted out, I need to ensure that person reapplies. Yes. You know, the deadline I think is November.
Yes.
So I need to, and especially with knowing that person's passion aligns with mine. You know, I'm going to reach that person. So
you're reaching back, Matthew.
Have to.
How can we find you on social media, Colleen?
You can find me at Colleen, COLLEN _DAW. But just to add to what you asked, Miss Kitty, we live in a tech-driven world. So while you might not have a direct mentor, I feel like there are persons out there that can inspire you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you can, just by watching your live, you're a mentor in Miss Kitty,
wow.
Indirectly.
Oh, thank you.
Tina watching you, Tina from wherever watching you, and you are inspiring her. So you have indirect mentorship. So it's just for you to be receptive and open to taking the lessons, taking the notes, and applying them to you.
Well, thank you so much for your kind words. I sincerely appreciate it. I do what I do, just like you guys. You know, you're passionate about what we do. I always aim to enrich people's lives and make people better and talk the truth, you understand? Because it doesn't make sense to be complacent in the lies. We have to hear the truth and know the truth so we can endeavor to be better. Yeah. But I want to just say that I'm so proud of both of you. I'm proud of all the recipients. I wish you all the best. I wish you continued success, and may you thrive and strive in as many ways as possible. And we're looking forward to when you shall drop back at Jamaica and to be making the difference. And you have our love, you have our strength. And if you want nothing at all, you just link me. You understand what I have a link? Well, link the link if you need a little, you understand, a little ackee, a little breadfruit, a little something, you understand, a little saltfish. You just let us know. We got the link to make the link the link. But to you, Matthew, and to you, Colleen, God's richest blessings and coverage over your life. And may He continue to bless you from the crowns of your head to the soles of your feet. All the best. Thank you so much for being here. You definitely are an inspiration, both of you. A round of applause for my Chevening Scholars. But that's the life. I just feel like my because I felt me like so I felt me. But that's the I want to apply. But you know, so all right, that talks to God, and then we make it over there. Yes, okay, guys, it's time for me to skedaddle off on out of here to make way for the best produced news in the nation, led by former Chevening Scholarship Achievement. That's right, confused. Who knew? New, right here on Nationwide 90 FM.